All right, down 2-1, going into a crucial game four, having lost home court advantage, needing a win in Philly. Can the Raptors bounce back? Let's take an in-depth look at the film. Make sure you follow on Twitter at ScoutWithBryan. And if you enjoy these videos, patreon.com/ScoutWithBryan is the best way you can support for even $1 a month. Let's check the film. First of all, Derek Bodner tweeted this Nick Nurse quote post-game: first adjustment we're going to have to make is to play a hell of a lot harder. Everybody always wants to search for a magical scheme, magical adjustment. Mostly in the playoffs, that's usually a bunch of nonsense. Usually it's about doing the little things better, playing as hard as you can, going all out every single possession. That's what winning basketball is about. That's what playoff basketball is about. And when Toronto looks at themselves, the first thing they're going to have to clean up is transition defense and offensive rebounds. These are just simple things, have nothing to do really with scheme, have everything to do with playing all out, playing your hardest. Kyle Lowry takes this shot. Right away, when a shot goes up, if you're not underneath, if you're not crashing the glass already, usually Siakam or maybe Gasol, you need to be sprinting back. Danny Green cannot be gambling underneath for these offensive rebounds. These guys cannot all be lollygagging around just watching the shot go up. You got to sprint back, because if you don't, that's what leads to this confusion. There's so much cross-matching going on. These teams are guarding each other differently. So Kawhi stays in, thinking he has to stop the ball. James Ennis is behind the defense. Now we're going to get drives. We're still not matched up correctly. We're going to step up to Greg Monroe around the free throw line, even though there's no reason to do that by Gasol, and leave Jimmy Butler under the basket where he's got a really easy 6-foot shot. Then Fleet misses a shot here. Again, Norman Powell, Ibaka are both underneath for no reason. This is not playoff intensity getting back. This is early in the second quarter. Serge Ibaka's got to sprint back and turn around, see the ball. This quarter just started. Kyle Lowry's pointing, but Ibaka's still pointing. We're not even matched up and guarding the biggest threat, the ball right here in Jimmy Butler. Ibaka's late even getting to him and gives up the strong right-hand drive, which Jimmy Butler does so well. This is not playoff resistance. You cannot give up layups in the playoffs. You got to take this away. You got to put him on his ass. That's not acceptable. Again, are we sprinting back on the shot? Kawhi forces a tough little lefty runner. Kyle Lowry standing there. Siakam, Danny Green, everybody's walking. Sprint back. Once again, you don't sprint back. That's when now we have a disadvantage because we're not matched up correctly. Siakam's got two guys right here. He goes to leave for Tobias Harris. You can't leave the basket, though, in transition especially, because Simmons underneath, not as a shooter, is going to play like a big man, and he gets another layup in transition. This is after a made basket. Siakam scores. We're still pointing. We still don't know who we're guarding. Kawhi really is the matchup for Simmons, but he's on the wrong side of the court. This is not urgency. Again, this is a must-win game. You got to approach every game in the playoffs like that. Kawhi, even too, is not running back hard enough. Siakam's not running back hard enough. By the time Kawhi finally gets back to Simmons, Kyle Lowry's trying to blow up the handoff to Redick. And then Kawhi's not up once the handoff does happen, so Redick gets an uncontested, this fade that he does so well, 3 in transition. And then after that, it's all-out war in the playoffs. It's going to be a battle for these offensive rebounds. It's a big team, Philly. They got a lot of tough big dudes. You got to hit them. Ibaka goes to contest the shot here, which is fine. So you know what? Van Fleet, Lowry, that's Joel Embiid rolling for the offensive rebound. Somebody's got to hit him. He's a big boy. It's going to be tough. But that's not enough contact making with him. And then Siakam, if Kyle Lowry goes to help with Embiid a little bit, Siakam's got to get in the fight. You got to get in the mix here. Go get that ball. We can't be giving tip-ins to James Ennis. Simmons gets way too deep on the post position, and then after that, again, it's just a battle. Who wants it more? How bad do you want it? How many times are we going to let them tip the ball to themselves? Tobias Harris misses a fadeaway. Look at this. It's an 11-point game with 1:30 left in the second. Danny Green has Simmons. Get him out of there. You can't allow these tip-outs. You gotta, there's no proper, perfect technique. You gotta just make sure you come up with this rebound. Because he tips that out. Embiid drives. Now we got a 14-point game with 1:30. Just think about this game ended up being a blowout. If this stays as an 11-point game, and then you go down and get a score, have it under 5 or 6 at halftime, it might be a close game at the finish. Next thing after that, discipline. Like transition, like offensive rebounds, they got to bring the fight a little bit more. Yes, Marc Gasol, Joel Embiid's a big boy. It's a tough matchup, but you got to resist more than that. You got to use your forearm out here and bump him. That's too easy. Just to pull the chair and go straight up and give Embiid a lay-in. And then game plan discipline too. Everybody in the league knows Greg Monroe goes to his left hand every time. You cannot give him a left-hand drive. That's KYP. Know your personnel. That's what he does. You can't have these game plan mistakes early in the first quarter. You can't let the little guys affect the game like that. And on top of it, like I said, is this playoff intensity? This is a play that Philly runs all the time. It's just a simple zipper screen. They want to get the ball to the 5-man up here, and then they usually have Butler or Tobias or somebody down here who fake backdoor and then maybe come off for the 2-man game for the dribble handoff. Just get up and deny this. It's easy. Take them out of the play right here. Force this catch out all the way to half court. There's no reason to give him this catch right here. Make it harder. Make this harder. They're not touching him. Nobody's being touched. That's not the physicality you need in the playoffs. That's letting the offense dictate exactly where they want to go. Same thing on the pick and roll here. Not enough contact. And then your roll man. This is the biggest threat. We know they got shooters out here. We know you don't want to help off JJ. That's fine. But you can help a little off Mike Scott. You're going to have to help a little off Mike Scott, first of all, to take away Joel Embiid as the roller. Norman Powell right here. You're on the roll man. Hit him. Don't move out of the way. Be right here at the nail. Make him go around you. He can't go straight through you like that. And then, like I said, it's on Kawhi too. It's on everybody. They run this horns chest action. Tobias kind of flares out of this horn set. So I would think no screen means no switch. So Kawhi really should stay on the ball. But if Siakam switches it, fine. Now Kawhi's got to get to Harris. Kyle Lowry should be stunting here. He should fake up and let Kawhi get back to his man. All right, but he full rotates, fine. Now Kawhi's got Ennis in the corner. You can't jump. Got to be the second jumper. They went for way too many of these shot fakes. Have to stay down here. He loves this, like Jeff Van Gundy said, this Chandler Parsons high shot fake. Should have been an and one. Second half, right? 15-point game. I talked about how different it could have been if they didn't allow that tip out 3 at the end of the second quarter. Now to start the half, though, it's still within reach, still 15. You got to play discipline. Kyle Lowry can't go for this steal here. Siakam's got him right now. Kyle Lowry gambles, goes for the steal. Now Simmons got a 2-on-1. What did I talk about with the shot fakes? How many times are they going to go for this Joel Embiid shot fake? Yeah, he shot the ball well from 3 last night. Overall, he's about a 30% three-point shooter. You cannot jump for him. That's what he wants to do. How many times? Marc Gasol, close out under control. Short, choppy steps, close out short. 90% of the time, he's shot faking and driving. And then this stuff speaks volumes to me. Patrick McCaw, you get a chance with 5:30 left in the game. Coach puts you in like this in a game that's just about a blowout, but he's still got the rest of the starters in pretty much. He hasn't been happy with Van Fleet, so you got a chance to make an impact on the game. I'm not saying play dirty. I'm not saying hurt anybody. But if you see Marc Gasol flies by Joel Embiid, get over there and foul him. Make him earn it at the free throw line. Don't stand behind your man Ennis hugging him right here and giving that fake hustle. Step in there. Maybe you can even take a charge. Get out of the way. Give him a windmill dunk. Kendrick Perkins tweeted post-game he just put this play on a loop 15 times in the locker room. At first I was like, what is he talking about? But you know what? I agree with him after watching. This is disrespectful. Again, we're going to give Joel Embiid a floodgates windmill dunk where he's going to run around like an airplane after. They didn't even call timeout here. There's no timeout. This is during live action. The Raptors have the ball right now. Joel Embiid's running around. Good for him. He's a happy guy. But you know what? That'd piss me off as a competitor if I'm Toronto, if I'm seeing this. I'm going to listen to the crowd. You got to have more pride. Game 4, something's got to happen. Somebody's got to hit him. He's too comfortable right now. Offensively, going to be about decision making, and then part of that decision, they got to shoot the ball when they have open shots. They're passing up way too many of these. Kyle Lowry got a lot of flack post game. I thought he missed some easy shots. I didn't think he was as bad as everybody thought. He needs to keep putting pressure on the defense like he does here. Extra pass, they'll find open shots. That's how they have to play. Outside of Kawhi, they need some other guys to give them a little something. Ibaka's got to make better decisions. You cannot, 30 feet from the basket, be putting the ball down, then pick up your dribble already, float these passes. You can't have these turnovers in a playoff game. That's completely unforced. Norman Powell. Got to know your personnel. Joel Embiid's a shot blocker. This is not an advantageous situation for you right here. Going one-on-one with Joel Embiid in transition, 2 Sixers right behind him. Pull the ball out and run something. When you do run something, they need to take advantage of this mismatch. Anytime Tobias Harris is on Gasol, they need to post him up. And when they do post him up, part of discipline offensively too is being in the right spots. Siakam, right here. If Gasol's got a mismatch and he's in the post, you either be outside the three-point line in space, or if you want to work down, you go underneath the basket. By staying right here at the block or moving right there to the block, that's going to allow Embiid to come right in where Gasol's trying to make his move over the left shoulder and get in the way. If you're underneath right here, that's going to be an easy dump-off pass to you for the dunk. He's in the way here, takes away what Gasol wants to do. He ends up having to go back over his right shoulder. Less comfortable move, misses the shot. Kyle Lowry's got to take the responsibility too. As the ball handler, as the point guard, he's got to make better decisions. Too many of these turnovers in transition. Jimmy Butler, we know Philly's got a long, athletic defensive team. You cannot force these passes ahead if they're not there. Once again, Gasol, he's got to play with some aggression. Every time he sees Tobias on him, you got to punish this. You got like 50 pounds on him. He's got to take advantage of this size mismatch. It's taking too long to go, and then to be honest, that's just a soft take. Go at him right away. That's the matchup you want. That's soft with the ball. And then you have Kawhi draw his help. Kawhi pulls Embiid in. That's got to be a shot. That's an open 3. You have open shots in the playoffs, you're usually not going to get a better look later in the shot clock. Open shot, shoot the ball. This allows the defense to recover. Siakam ends up going one-on-one. Philly's top-siding these pin downs. So what that means is, you see JJ on the top side right here, not letting Powell use the screen, so Powell needs to come. Embiid's protecting against the lob. He's dropped. Powell needs to go screen Embiid a little bit, just go get a little rub on him, and Gasol's got a wide open 3. Instead, he lets him recover. And Van Fleet, he's got to play with some aggression too. Got to put some pressure on the defense. He got a shot blocked at least twice last night. That's too easy. That's an open shot. 9 on the shot clock. Shoot the ball. Ball movement's great. Extra ball movement for no purpose. You're not going to keep getting better looks. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Philly traps the pick and roll. Got an open shot right here. You're 35 to 40% three-point shooter in your career. Shoot the ball. And then, if you're not going to shoot the ball, at least, again, be in the right place. Decent pass to the corner. You're going to attack the X out. Kyle Lowry's going to drive. Joel Embiid closeout. Kyle Lowry beats him. If Marc Gasol follows right behind here, he goes right down the middle of the paint. J.J. Redick goes to stop Lowry. Marc Gasol's going to have a dunk. Instead, makes the wrong read here. Drifting out to the 3 again. Allows Jimmy Butler to steal this pass. Turn it into 2 points at the other end. This is the shot that Al Horford's been killing Milwaukee's defense on. The pick and pop. That's what's there. With Embiid drop back and with him slower footed, if they hit you on the pocket pass and Embiid's this far back, he's got to be ready to shoot this ball. Passed up way too many shots. And then speaking of passing up shots, again, Van Fleet, you get the ball in the corner in transition, that's a shot for you right there. It's not a drive to go against the bigger Mike Scott and get rejected with that soft take at the rim. And then once again, the theme. Nick Nurse talked about this at the end of the quarter interview. Point guard goes in to shoot. He's the one that's guarding Redick. So he's a little slow getting back in transition, but we still got 4 guys right here. This is the best shooter on the court, one of the best shooters in the world. Somebody's got to point right now and say, I'm taking him. We got 4 guys here, not one of them does. Nobody even knows who's guarding the ball. Too easy. Kyle Lowry, pick and pop. When Siakam puts pressure on the D, shoot the ball. It's open. You pass up these looks, you're not going to get something better. That's not a better shot than what he just passed up. Can they bounce back? They can. But it starts with playing harder, going all out, up in the intensity. Like I said, expect to see a few scuffles in Game 4. Expect to see them hit somebody. Expect to see a pissed-off team. If I don't see that, I'm going to be really worried. But I would be shocked if this game's not going to be a lot tougher for Philly to pull out. Thanks for watching. Again, make sure you thumb up, subscribe, follow on Twitter at ScoutWithBryan, and Patreon if you can support. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Can the Raptors bounce back?